Welcome to our first edition of Loboe News Nation for the school year. I'm Kaylin Furch along with Wyatt Braun.
Up until now, the mass media class has been learning about shooting, editing, and producing a news story.
Students look forward to many things during the school year, but homecoming week has to be at the top of the list.
Storm Zimmerman and Derek Joy captured the homecoming highlights for our first story.
The students really got into the homecoming spirit this year at Lemoore School. There are a few things that students look forward to: Christmas break, summer break, and all the breaks in between. But this year, the students were especially excited about homecoming week. Their dress-up days were really good this year. Homecoming was a couple months ago, so we'll recap what you missed.
Today is Monday the 12th, and the theme is formal wear.
There were some good outfits. Let's go see who the high school thinks dressed the best.
Well, I haven't got to see Mrs. Coleman, so I don't know, but I'd say there's a few good ones in the running.
Joe Hyde. I'm not doing this.
Joey.
I think Avery Kramer.
I honestly have not seen all of the teachers today. So, I'm liking Mrs. Hoff in her old prom dress.
Lexi Linebaugh.
Me.
Jace, you're being very optimistic.
And for Tuesday's theme, student-teacher swap.
We asked the students 2 questions today. Question 1, who they dressed up as. And question 2, who dressed up the best, the students or the teachers?
Gen Z high school girl, chilling in my MTV t-shirt and really comfortable.
I'm dressed like a typical sophomore girl on a typical day, just sort of rolling out of the bed, out of the crib, just slumming it.
That depends on which teachers or which students. For example, Brock Wendell dressed as Mr. Jansen is absolutely fabulous today. But I have to say that Mr. Joy's outfit with the colored Crocs really is getting it. So it just depends on the...
I think there's a mix. I think some of the students did really well, and some of the teachers are doing really well. Like Mr. Isaacson looks exactly like Blaze.
Those were some good impersonations.
For Wednesday theme, it is Minions.
Our question for today is, what is your favorite Minion?
My favorite's gotta be John. How about you?
My favorite Minion is George. Banana!
Definitely Bob, because he has a cool name, and short and sweet.
And I had to look at the Minions up, and I would say Phil because he liked to sing. However, I truly didn't watch a lot of Minions. Shrek was more my thing when my daughters were little. So I just say my favorite Minion is me because I had so much fun dressing up today. It was so fun.
And it would be Donnie or Chris, but I went with Donnie. And the reason I went with Donnie is because he's short. I'm short. He's a little crazy, likes to sing and dance. I like to do those things. And he acts stupid even though he's not stupid. And that's what I like about him because he's himself. How's that for an answer?
Stuart.
I'm going to say Kevin. Kevin.
Well, my favorite Minion would have to be Dave. Dave is a really cool guy, and he helped me steal the moon, and just the very hard worker. Yes, very hard.
I didn't know that we had the voice actor for group teaching at the school.
And now for Thursday's theme, barbecue dads and soccer moms.
Mothers of the pitch and the daddy-os of the patio.
We asked 2 questions, one for the teachers and one for the students.
We asked the teachers, do you consider yourself a barbecue dad / soccer mom?
And we asked the students, when you grow up, will you be a barbecue dad / soccer mom?
It's grilling season.
I feel like I'm a celebrity, Derek.
Would you consider yourself a barbecue dad?
No, because I do not have children and I do not only grow.
Well, I love to barbecue. I'm not a dad, but I do have a dad bod.
Absolutely. I love to barbecue. Steaks, chicken, and pork.
I used to be a soccer mom when Lemoore had a youth soccer program. We don't have one anymore. Maybe someday I'll be a soccer mom again.
Do you think you'll be a soccer mom when you grow up?
Yes.
I think I might be, but I'm not so sure about it.
Yes. Of course.
When you grow up.
Yeah, I will. And I'll be rich, Mom, too. Bye.
Wow, we're gonna have a lot of barbecue dads and soccer moms.
And for Friday, the final theme day, Lobo Pride.
Let's go see some moments from the games at the assembly. Man, tug of war was fun.
Let's cut to the winners of the dress-up days and see if Jace's overconfidence was correct.
For Loboe News Nation, this is Derek reporting.
Derek, those will definitely be some memories worth holding on to.
Absolutely. Storm, speaking of memories, can you imagine 50 years worth of memories of the school?
No, but Harvey Leobold can, as he's been driving bus at the Lemoore School for 50 years.
Tamara Johnson is here to bring you the story.
50 years, whether it's birthdays or anniversaries, 50 years is an impressive number. Harvey Leobold reached that milestone this year driving bus.
Typical day, I start at 7 o'clock in the morning, get back in, drop kids off at about 20 after 8, come back here, visit with Shauna for an hour, and then we leave here when the school's out and just go home and take my nap in between.
But with the weather, a bus driver can't always count on a typical day.
Driving when it's really bad and we can't see where we're going, and we check with each other how we're doing, and we always say, oh, we got stuck, can you come find me?
Besides the weather, kids can also be a challenge.
Because when you deal over 50 years of students and after school, some of these kids are wound up pretty good. You know, when you take kids on the route in the morning, they're sort of quiet, but in the afternoon, they're sort of rambunctious. And I think being patient with the kids and dealing with things that they have to deal with and being courteous to them and, you know, just being around kids and just learning how kids operate and just being the patient person that you have to be and understanding with the kids.
Two 6th grade students, Brody Hyde and Dawson Workin, shared what it's like having a Harvey as a bus driver. What do you like most about having Harvey as a bus driver?
He's a really nice bus driver and he doesn't boss you around. Well, I've never had any bus drivers like that, but he's just really nice.
Like you were saying, he's nice. The only reason if he'd get in trouble if somebody's doing a repetitive thing that's annoying somebody else over and over and over again and they know it's wrong. Otherwise, he's really nice.
Okay, name one word that would describe Harvey.
Kind.
Why would you say that he's kind?
Well, this day before Halloween, he gave us some candy. That was really nice.
Okay, what word do you think is for Harvey?
I think caring. Because he really wants to get you safe when it's into your house. Like he said, if it's ever raining, he can drive up into my driveway and drop me off there so I don't get as wet.
Both current and former students alike share the same feelings about Harvey.
I think that with Harvey, you always knew that he cared. And he's the same as he is now. He kind of teased you a little bit, but you knew that it was in like a loving, caring way. You really knew that he cared about you. I think it was pretty chill. I mean, he didn't get too upset or angry about anything, so I just remember like talking to my friends and having fun on the bus. I started riding Harvey's bus when I moved here in 4th grade, so that would have been 1989. And I maybe rode it when I was a senior, I don't remember, but that would have been 1998. The farm that I grew up on and live at is the same farm that my dad grew up and lived at, and my dad also had Harvey as a bus driver.
Over 50 years, Harvey has seen challenges as well as changes.
A lot fewer kids, fewer farm kids especially. There used to be, out of 10 farmers back when I first started driving in '73, there's probably one in that same area out of those 10 that is there anymore.
We talk about some of the old times back in the 70s when the buses were completely full, and now the things have changed. I've talked to him quite a few times, when we talked about all the changes I've made from having a packed full of bus to sometimes only transporting 10 to 15 kids. And the routes are getting longer though. We're spread out a little bit farther, and and the thing is when you put on all those miles, if you take an average of 13,000 miles a year, multiply that by 50. I'm not sure how many times you can go across the United States back and forth, but I'm sure we'll get our calculator out to figure that out now. But, we thank Harvey for his service. We expect a few more years out of him yet. He wants to keep going, and he's doing a great job. And, it's one of the things that you can tell about Harvey is he has that good-natured ribbing. He likes to tease a few of the kids, and they know they can sort of has that reciprocal thing where they can sort of give back and forth, and the kids just have a nice smile on their face whenever they talk to Harvey. So we thank Harvey for all those years of dedicated service.
For Harvey and those who have been on his bus route, it's not as much about the miles as it is the smiles. Mr. Trapp, that was sure fun interviewing Harvey about his time driving bus.
Speaking of fun and time, Loboe time is something new here at the school.
Wyatt Braun and Kaylin First will be telling us what exactly Loboe time is all about.
I'm Wyatt Braun.
And I'm Kaylin Furch.
And we're with Loboe News Nation.
The Lemoore High School has incorporated a new homeroom system known as Loboe Time. All 7th through 12th graders were split into 11 different Loboe packs.
On Thursdays, the packs watch an inspirational video presented by Jostens, and on Fridays, the packs participate in games or events.
What's your Loboe pack's name?
Our Loboe pack's name this year is Jonathan.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I would not.
Right.
Actually, Wyatt Braun did it. It's fully Wyatt Braun.
Do you think Loboe Time is positively or negatively impacting the students, or is it neutral?
I think it's positively impacting students. I was one of the people who advocated for it and helped create it, and so I might be biased, but I think it's having a really good effect. I really like what's happening.
Loboe Time started, or at least in my head, started at a principal conference last winter where there was a bunch of other schools were talking about doing some time for kids to get together and collaborate. So I kind of started that thought process last winter.
How do you think it will benefit students in the future?
Well, one of the goals of when we established Loboe Time was to get kids to collaborate from grades 7 through 12 and to get to know other kids in the school.
What skills do you think the students will develop from Loboe Time?
That's an interesting question. Some of the skills, I hope that we learn to collaborate. I hope that we learn to get along with others. And truly, like I said before, allowing those 7th graders and seniors to interact, whether they see them in the hall, whether we form a connection with somebody that we normally wouldn't connect with, was the other big goal that we were hoping to establish, is to be familiar with other kids that are in our building, not just the kids that maybe are in our exact grade, or maybe the grade above or below, so that we had that connection across the board.
And do you have a Loboe pack group this year?
I joined in with Mr. Kritzberger's pack because those of us who are working in the elementary and high school didn't have our own packs. So I'm in the pack Jonathan.
How has your pack been positively affected by Loboe pack this year?
The biggest positive effect that I see from Loboe pack is the mixing of our young kids and our older kids to create more of a sense of community in our school.
What is your Loboe pack?
Mateo. It's the initials of everyone in our group is either capital, initialed M, A, T, E, or O.
Does your Loboe pack group seem to have one specific leader, you would say?
No, actually, a few of the kids have all been leaders.
Do you think we would benefit by having a suggestion box for kids to put in input for events?
Absolutely. I think that's a grand idea.
Have you seen any positive impacts from Loboe pack?
I feel like there are definitely stronger relationships between the higher grade levels and the lower grade levels.
Will Loboe Time be a new legacy?
We'll see. Wyatt and Kaylin reporting from Loboe News Nation.
Many students look forward to Loboe Time during the week.
And we are all out of time, but we are looking forward to bringing you our next broadcast.
Thanks for tuning in to hear us howl.
This has been a Loboe News Nation production.
What do you mean? That's the end?